This is a WFMY News 2 Sports Special. Friday Football Fever. Here are your hosts, Patrick Wright and Luke Liddon.
Well, we had to wait 7 entire days, but finally, we've made it to another Friday night, Luke.
This is what we wait for every single week, isn't
Absolutely.
it? And there was plenty of action under the lights to keep fans excited this week. We had crews all over the state to bring you some of the area's top matchups.
And we start with our Wendy's game of the week. It was a matchup between fierce Montgomery County rivals. It had been more than a decade since East Montgomery last beat West Montgomery, and the Eagles tried to change that at home tonight. We're going to start in the first quarter, though, with West. Mikael Horn drops back and hits a wide-open Quincy Drake for the first score of the game. It's 7-0 West. And how about some East defense? West is going to fumble the pitch here. Keon McBride recovers it, and the game would shift from there. The very next play, Courtney McKinney takes the handoff, and no one is gonna touch him. He eventually goes 67 yards for the score. Of course, the Eagles are all fired up. We're tied at 7 apiece, and McKinney wasn't done just yet. After the failed fake punt by West, he takes another handoff, this time for 52 yards, dragging defenders into the end zone for another score. East goes on to win. They end the drought 35-21.
We are off to Deaton-Thompson Stadium in Winston-Salem for a battle of unbeatens. Reynolds hosted Reidsville, with the winner moving to 4-0 on the season, but only one team could claim those bragging rights. Second play of the game, Reidsville's Jalen Easley takes it right up the middle, and he has gone all the way to the house for the touchdown just like that. 7-0 Rams. And just when Reynolds was trying to get something going, Willie Blackstock jumps the route. Not just an interception, but it's a pick six, and I think we know who is improving to 4-0 easily. Again, fighting his way through the defense for yet another touchdown. And then Titus Jones, why not getting in on the action himself. A beautiful find to a wide open Logan Graves for, yes, another 6. Reidsville unstoppable. They win 49-6.
And they're on fire. Well, we've come to the first media timeout of tonight's show. Still ahead on the Fever. Who would come out on top of the huge Northwest and Northern Guilford rivalry tonight? Highlights from this one and many more are coming up next.
And if you miss any of this action on the TV screen, you can still get scores and updates from Triad football games from both your phone and your computer. Just head to Facebook and like us at Triad High School Sports. And over on Twitter, it's very simple. We're at #WFMYFFF. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. It's time for our Friday Football Fever flashback. This week, it's former Northern Guilford Nighthawk Keenan Allen. He was named Parade All-American and played in the prestigious McDonald's All-American game. Allen moved on to play 3 years at Cal before getting drafted by the San Diego Chargers back in the 2013 NFL Draft. Allen starts for the now Los Angeles Chargers, who open the regular season Monday at Denver. Now, Allen's alma mater was back on the field tonight for a huge county showdown as Northern Guilford played host to Northwest Guilford. We're going to start off with the Vikings. How about Johnny Pagano here? Going to find a cutting Trey Turner, and the Virginia Tech commit takes this one to the house. You know, once he gets around that edge, you're not going to stop him. That's a touchdown there. Northwest taking the lead with that. How about some Northern Guilford defense? Tyler Anderson going to get to Pagano this time with the sack. And then more from Northern. Turner going to make the grab, but Jalen Graves brings him down short of the first down. Later on in the second, it's Northwest Guilford. Pagano again, this time hitting Cameron Cloud, and Cloud crosses the goal line for the score. Your final, 14-0 Northwest.
Eastern Guilford's offense has been on an absolute roll this year. The Wildcats are averaging more than 42 points per game heading into tonight's showdown at home against Page. But believe it or not, the first half was all defense, really, honestly, just the entire game. First quarter, Page's Sincere Davis trying to get something going, but he is bottled up immediately by the Eastern Guilford defense. So later, Wildcat quarterback Dominique Graves looking to buy time in the pocket, but no sir, sacked by B.J. Turner. Eastern Guilford, though, with a little razzle-dazzle later on fourth, punting, but it's a fake. Graves hits Justin Spruill, who gets the first down, and much, much more. But it is Page that wins a close battle by a field goal, 19-16.
All right, Dudley's the top-ranked 3A team in the season's first AP North Carolina high school poll. Head coach Stephen Davis and the Panthers were back in action at home tonight against Hillside. And if you like defensive showdowns, this game was for you. Here's Coach getting the receivers ready to go. We're going to start off, though, with some Dudley defense. Hillside going to run the draw here, and Juriente Davis is there to stop it. On the very same series, Hillside's quarterback drops back to pass. This time, Davis there again for a sack. He was all over the place tonight. Then we move on to the fourth quarter. Dudley trying to get something going on offense. Gerald Simpson, he's going to find Tawan Young, who makes a nice grab and the nice gain there. Then here's Simpson on the QB keeper. Watch the quarterback work. Going to shed a couple of defenders there. Eventually steps out of bounds. Dudley goes on to win a close one, 14-7.
West Forsyth upped their record to a perfect 3-0 with a win Monday over Mount Tabor. Tonight, the Titans hit the road to meet up with High Point Central, looking to make it a perfect 4-0. And hey, that looked like me earlier in the mirror today when I remember tonight was Friday football fever in West Forsyth. They were just relentless. Second quarter, they bobble the snap, but Jamon Wilson hangs on as he crosses the goal line for the touchdown to go up 31-0. So time winding down in the half. Titans in the red zone again, and Drew Latham just going to do it himself to the outside and easily scores to go up another 6 points at halftime. West Forsyth cruises 39-13.
And now it's time to draw up a play that takes us down 220 South to Asheboro as Providence Grove took the field against Southwestern Randolph. Let's start off with Southwestern Randolph. Braden Jones here. His pass is broken up by Providence Grove's Luke Williams there. Some nice defense. More from Providence Grove this time. Andrew Poteet swung down behind the line by Southwest Randolph, Brighton Long. In the third quarter, here's Southwestern Randolph again. Tyler Hoover, a 16-yard run there for the first down, and more from Southwestern. Tyler Hoover again. Here he comes, taking another handoff, this time from 27 yards out, and you're not going to stop him here. He cuts out to the sideline and steps into the end zone for the score. Southwestern Randolph goes on to win this one 17-0.
Still ahead on week 4 of Friday Football Fever, a Davidson County battle as Ledford took on West Davidson.
And could West Stokes knock off McMichael on the road? More scores and highlights are coming up next. We'll be right back. A big thank you to East Montgomery and West Montgomery High Schools. The schools playing together tonight as the Golden Regiment. They're our Friday Football Fever Band of the Week. Now, West Stokes got a big road win last week at Starmount. Tonight, the Wildcats look to make it back-to-back victories away from King against McMichael. We'll start in the first quarter with West Stokes. They've got the ball. Tyler Smith going to toss one up, and he finds Dustin Blevins. Catches in stride for the score. It's 7-0 West Stokes there. Later on, though, McMichael going to respond. Cliff Lester tossing one up to Dominique Hairston, who juggles it, somehow holds on and is knocked out at the 21. Later on, they'd cap off the drive. Keyshawn Mayo takes the handoff. He's going to fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. We're tied at 7. Then in the second quarter, fourth down for West Stokes. They're punting. Here's Luis Bruno. He's going to field it. And eventually, this guy's going to take this ball 70 yards for the touchdown. I mean, I think he actually runs about 100 yards by the end of it, all that cutting back and forth. What a play there. West Stokes, though, goes on to win this one, 20-14.
I'm tired just watching that punt return. Our Friday Football Fever crew also made a stop tonight down in Thomasville. We're off to Ledford as the Panthers kicked off against West Davidson. Both squads taking the field, but one team got off to a very fast start while the other did not. The first play for Ledford couldn't have been any better as Matt Rogers throws this over the middle to Walker Lackey, who zips into the end zone for the 7-0 lead. Well, that was easy. So a few drives later, the Panthers strike again. Donovan Williams reading his lane to perfection, and whoop, right between the defenders and all the way in for the score. West Davidson, though, they gave him a game late, but Ledford hangs on by a single point, 21-20.
Now it's time for our Aviation Triad Flight of the Night. For this one, we go a couple days back to Monday. Not a pass, but Eastern Guilford quarterback Dominique Gray's up and over the top. calls his own number there. Graves flying into the end zone, and that is our aviation triad flight of the night for week 4.
Now time for our Blue Cross Blue Shield Drive of the Week, and it belongs to Northwest Guilford. All about the baby steps. First, Johnny Pagano hits Trey Turner, who keeps the toes in bounds. Then Pagano to Turner yet again in what looks like nearly the same exact play, which then led to Cameron Cloud shifting through the defense and past the first down marker to move the chains. And it all came down to this. Pagano to Cloud for the touchdown for this week's Blue Cross Blue Shield Drive of the Week.
All right, let's check out some other scores from tonight's action. Southeast Guilford beat Grimsley 27-6, while Wheatmore topped Bartlett Yancey 26-6. Mount Tabor over Reagan 21-14, and Eastern Alamance beat Southern Alamance 62-15.
Glenn rolls past North Forsyth 40-7. Western Alamance scores early and often, beating Graham 68-6. Ragsdale gets past Southwest Guilford 20-19, and Atkins with the big road win, beating South Davidson 48-6.
And this is pretty wild. East Forsyth and Carver will have to finish tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. A transformer actually blew, causing a power outage at the stadium, with the Eagles up 14-0. All right, we've got 5 big games in the running for next week's Friday Football Fever Game of the Week, and you get to help decide who wins. Mount Tabor heads to Glenn. Southeast Guilford hosts Dudley. East Davidson travels to North Davidson. Southwest Guilford meets up with Northwest Guilford, and High Point Central battles High Point Andrews. You can head over to WFMYnews2.com to cast your vote. Voting ends Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. All right, well, that does it for week 4 of Friday Football Fever. Thanks for joining us.
And if you missed any of tonight's action, highlights, or scores, we've got them online for you at WFMYnews2.com. Can't believe week 4 is already complete.
I mean, it was a pretty awesome week,
man. It was, and the weather was perfect. Hopefully we get that next week too, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Maybe. Hey, shout out to East Montgomery. Yes. Big win tonight in our game of the week. More than a decade since they last did that.
Crazy.
So, well, all right, y'all. Have a good night.